they want to throw you to the wayside.
Yeah, I mean, it just once you get around someone, you be looking up to these people so bad, and like once you get around, they don't be who they portray to be. Like,
Cut you off that you was like, I gotta do that.
A lot of people don't know that what Floyd do. He said.
So you feel like it was a sub, like he was subbing you, like, oh, like
he was going at me.
In the least amount of fights, you know, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Before Gervonta Tank, Floyd Mayweather gets involved in Lamont Roach's camp, which adds to the tension in Davis's fight against Roach. Davis feels betrayed by his former mentor, who questioned Mayweather's loyalty. With the fight coming up, Mayweather's sudden move adds to the drama and fuels rumors about his true intentions in the boxing world. Davis recently talked about his relationship with Floyd Mayweather and how he felt betrayed over time. During a discussion, the host brought up the idea that people can put someone in a position of opportunity, but when that person is no longer useful, they are thrown away. The host used personal examples to make it clear that he wasn't directly accusing Mayweather, but rather talking about how people act in these kinds of situations in general.
So in the world, he came and got Tank, and it's like, yo, that's what we needed when they talking to Baltimore. And it's like, as time go on, again, I have no idea, you correct me at any time, but we see like just little back and forth between y'all two. And again, I have no idea, bro, so you can always stop me or correct me, we could, whatever. But I'm looking at like, it's crazy how people can put you in opportunities, right? But and I don't want to misspeak, but it just seems like, it's because I've experienced it. People can, and maybe not for Floyd, so let me just preface that. It's like people can put you in opportunities because they can, but it's all to help them out. And then when you're not useful for them no more, they want to throw you to the wayside.
yeah, I mean, it just.
Tank replied that when people get close to someone they used to admire, they start to see who that person really is. The image they had in their mind doesn't always match reality, which can be disappointing and painful. He admitted that this realization hurt him, but also made him want to do things on his own.
I mean, it just once you get around someone, you be looking up to these people so bad, and like once you get around, they don't be who they say they is or who they portray to be. You be like, damn, it's damn near like it's a letdown. So you be more so hurt off, you know. So it's like I just go my own way, like I do my own thing and things like that. So that's more so that's what it was, and that's cool. It just like you just don't vibe with like what they on, and that's, you know. I mean, I've been in a situation where though, like, you know, I was in a lose-lose situation. Now, what came out still on top.
With Floyd? You said, what was the lose-lose situation? What you mean?
Just a little situation that he put me in and, you know, make me.
Tank then said that his relationship with Floyd was a lose-lose situation for him. When asked to explain, he talked about his first world title fight, which happened when he was only 21 years old and had a 161 record. At that time, he hadn't fought in 7-8 months and was making only about $10,000 per fight. Being out of action for so long put him at a disadvantage, making him more likely to lose. Floyd may have put Tank in that tough spot on purpose so that he would fail, but he managed to come out on top despite the odds. Tank's words suggest that he thinks Floyd saw him as a business asset rather than a true prot, setting him up for problems that could have ended his rise. This experience made Tank even more determined to take charge of his career rather than relying on other people.
What came out still on top.
With Floyd? You said, what was the lose-lose situation? What you mean?
Just a little situation that he put me in and, you know, make me lose. But he thought I was gonna lose. But
You talking about like a boxing match or?
yeah, boxing match.
Ooh, if you don't mind. If you don't want to, it's fine.
Pedraza. Joseph Pedraza, my first world title. I was 16-0. I was 16-0. 16-0. And I was 21 at the time. And I haven't fought in like 7 or 8 months. And around that time, I wasn't making that much money. I probably was making like 10,000 a fight. So 6 months is crazy to not fight, you know. So when they came back and it was like, all right, you gotta fight. He was like, you gotta fight this fighter, which is Joseph Pedraza. If you don't fight him, you're not fighting. You sitting on the show. So I had to fight him. In the midst of all that happened, I got evicted. I had to sell my jewelry. So now, and remind you, I'm letting them boxers that you talking about, I'm putting them on game.
He used to trust Floyd Mayweather and follow his advice without question. But over time, they had a fight, and their relationship became tense. Now Tank doesn't follow Floyd's advice or ask for his help as much as he used to. Things got even worse between them when Floyd was seen working with Lamont Roach's camp before Tank's upcoming fight. Tank felt betrayed and wondered why his former mentor would side with someone he was about to fight in the ring. This isn't the first time he's been unhappy with Floyd's actions. He didn't like it when Floyd gave advice to Frank Martin before his fight.
He just gave me good, great words. He was telling me just stay calm. I always like to listen to Floyd when it comes to big stages like this, because he's the only one that been in my shoes and been like in these type of fights. You know what I mean? So I always try to stay close to Floyd when stuff like this happens. You know what I mean? Just to keep me humble and, you know, like have me on the right track. You know what I mean? So I always appreciate Floyd for being in my corner, having my back. Always, you know what I mean? So it's always will be love for Floyd Mayweather.
All right,
It made Tank feel like Floyd wasn't on his side anymore, but instead supporting fighters who were going up against him. With the fight against Roach coming up, Floyd's involvement adds more drama to the situation. Many boxing fans are now wondering if Floyd's move was on purpose or if he just doesn't see himself as part of Tank's team anymore. Either way, Tank has made it clear that he doesn't like it. The one strong bond between them seems to be broken, and Tank is focused on moving forward without Floyd's help. Now that Tank is on his own, he can show that he doesn't need Floyd in his corner to rule the world of boxing.
Young fighters, he loves to embrace guys, so what was being around talking to Floyd? Like, what has Floyd taught you about fighting, and has it made you a better fighter? Because he could tell me all day to do that shit he does. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what does being around a guy like Floyd do for you?
He could tell you, go run at 2 in the morning. You know, go do it when, cause 9 times out of 10, we know your opponent sleep at that time. So go run at 2 in the morning and go give yourself a mental edge, you know, like, cause you know you out there working every night at 2 in the morning running. That's a lot of the times your opponent sleep. You know, it could be little things that'll take you to the next level. You know, that Floyd, a person like Floyd, like if he tell you that, you gonna take a lot of heed to it, and it's gonna give you a different type of motivation when you doing it. He could show you something, you know, and it could be the same thing. You know, you might not be able to do it like him, but just it coming from him, it'll give you like a different type of like feel about yourself.
In the past, while Tank was still under Floyd Mayweather's promotion, Floyd also trained Frank Martin, who would later become one of Tank's opponents. This raised eyebrows, as Floyd was supposed to be guiding Tank's career, but was also working with a potential rival. Even then, Tank didn't question Floyd's actions, trusting his mentor completely. However, looking back, it now seems like Floyd may have been setting up challenges for Tank rather than fully supporting him.
From Baltimore, he's not from DC. That's what I learned. I thought he was from DC too. DC my second home. I've been coming up here since I was 9 years old, even younger. So I'm not really trying to get in his personal business. Probably just showing him that, you know, I could do anything, especially in your backyard.
You gonna feel all this shit we gotta do? Look, hey Tank, we're gonna go 35 for 12.
Many years ago, legendary champion Marvin Hagler remarked that it's hard to get up and do road work at 5 a.m.
Frank Martin openly shared how Floyd Mayweather's advice motivated him ahead of his fight. Floyd, known for his strategic thinking, gave Martin key insights that helped him prepare at a higher level. Martin expressed how valuable the advice was, saying it gave him a new viewpoint and added confidence in the ring. However, Tank saw this differently. Floyd wasn't just giving general advice, he was sharing methods that Tank himself had used in the ring. This raised suspicions that Floyd wanted Tank to lose by guiding Martin. Floyd wasn't just helping another fighter, he was preparing someone to counter Tank's style. This situation deepened the tension between Tank and Floyd. Tank had once trusted Floyd's guidance completely, always listening to his advice, but their relationship had soured over time. Seeing Floyd give strategic tips to someone he could potentially face made Tank question Floyd's true intentions. It wasn't just about mentoring another fighter, it felt personal. Tank no longer sees Floyd as someone in his corner. Instead, he's moving forward without relying on his former mentor. He understands that in boxing, loyalty is rare, and even those who once stood beside him might not always want to see him win. Now Tank is determined to prove himself without Floyd's guidance, showing that he can dominate the ring on his own terms.
You're backed by arguably one of the greatest of all time, right?
What are we rating ourselves on? What are we rating on?
Okay.
Well, we want to know. In the least amount of fights, you know, I didn't have to have 70 fights, 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
From the very beginning, Floyd Mayweather backed Tank Davis. He brought him into his team, guided him, and helped shape him into the champion he is. Today, Floyd gave Tank the opportunities, advice, and exposure that many fighters dream of. Tank was loyal in return, always listening to Floyd, following his advice, and trusting that Floyd had his best interests at heart. Their relationship wasn't just about boxing. It was built on mentorship and respect. But over time, things changed. The trust that once existed between them started to fade. The real issue isn't just that Floyd has worked with other fighters.